Hello, this is Elder Tehila Firewind from the Covenant of Open Mind, and you're watching Wicca 101 Abridged. Hail and welcome. The topic this time is about the importance of nature and experience, which is an interesting thing to discuss, honestly, because it doesn't seem as important as a concept like the threefold law or the Wiccan Rede, like one of these key concepts which everyone thinks about and talks about when it comes to Wicca. But this is actually one of the most important concepts, and one which lies at the very heart of Wiccan practice. Basically, no matter how much book study you do, how many perspectives you read, how many videos you watch, there is no substitute for being there and feeling the energy of a space. I mean, any of you who like going to sporting events or concerts probably know what I mean. When you're there and you're in this big group, right, jumping up and down to the beat of the music, and then it stops for a minute and gets quieter, and it just hangs in the air, and the beat drops, and the music picks back up, and it's just like, you can feel that energy, and it gives you goosebumps, and you feel connected as a crowd with the whole audience. And you're one, and you're together, and you're experiencing this new thing. And even if you've heard the music like a dozen times, it still becomes this unique and interesting experience, all because of how it feels to experience it as a group. And the same thing happens at sporting events. There's just no substitute for being there and feeling the energy of the crowd as everyone's chanting and shouting at each other for their different teams. And the energy is just so strong and infectious that you can't help but like have a good time, most people anyway. So the same thing applies with magic. You can't learn how to do magic by reading a book or watching a video, no matter how good the content is. You have to get out into nature and feel the energy of the trees, the plants, the bees and the butterflies, and the icky vampire insects, all of it. Every being, every plant, every rock, every tree, every creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name, right? So Pocahontas. When you get out in nature, you can feel the magic inherent in the earth. You can watch the seasons changing around you. You can feel the energy as it shifts through the wheel of the year, like we talked about in an earlier episode. And you can see the experience, you can see and experience this energy. And it brings a whole new level of understanding and connectedness with the world. In Wicca, we believe that the god is in the crop and the goddess is in the earth, and that these forces of push and pull, they are all around us. They are inside us. They are things that we can feel and that we can identify with, and we can learn how to be in tune with them and move with them. And living in tune with yourself and with the world around you is the simplest form of enlightenment, really. And this is why there's a lot of wisdom to be found in other animals, because they don't do everything in their power to remove themselves from the earth like humans do. They don't live on the 24th story of skyscrapers if you don't take them there. So for instance, if you have a dog, go with them to the park and do what they do. Run around and chase squirrels and bugs. And even if you're getting whacked by plants or falling in the mud, get dirty, take your shoes off, feel the grass under your toes, or roll around in the grass with them and just listen to the trees swaying in the wind. And smell the air. People highly underestimate the value of smell. Just sit for a minute, close your eyes, and just sniff the air. And it sounds crazy, right? I'm telling you to go act like a dog, but when you take it all in, you learn that nature is not something that you can see or hear or smell. It's something that you see and hear and smell all at once. It's an experience. And I shit you not, this is something that I learned from my dog, my familiar Frankie, the Puggle. He's also in other places of our channel. He is one of the wisest beings I know, because he's never worried about anything. He just goes and has fun, and he gets dirty, and then when he's done, he's like, oh, I didn't want to be dirty, so can you dry me off? It's like, just experiencing life. And that is honestly one of the wisest things in the world. and no knowledge, no understanding, no wisdom at all, really. It's just being. And that is a form of enlightenment. That is a form of higher thinking. And that's something that you can only learn by seeing the world through the eyes of your animals or even your children, you know. The wonder that comes from seeing a flower bloom or seeing shapes in the clouds. That is an intuitive understanding of magic, of the force of being and meaning that is inherent in all things. And seeing that beauty that just underlies the allergies and the bug bites and all of the other things that come with being outside and feeling and experiencing nature. So, you know, leave behind all sense for consequences and just have experiences. You have to get out into nature, feel the area, the energy of a space, and then and only then can you really understand the nature worship inherent in Wicca. And that is true for understanding nature and the god and goddess, and for magical experience as well. If you have the great fortune to meet other pagans, do it. Find a pagan pride event in your area. Find a coven that is even hours away. Most big cities have pagan pride events, or at least a coven or two. And go there at least once. Feel the energy and magic that comes from doing ritual together and sharing energies. There is no substitute for experiencing magic. And what does it feel like? What does magic feel like? It's like goosebumps and electricity running through your body, and it's hot and cold at once, and it feels like that swooping feeling in your stomach when you're on rides or you are falling because you went over a big bump in the road. Magic is radiant. It pours out of you into the space around you. And every space that you enter has a unique energy, just like every person has unique aura, which is what you call their energy. And that energy is something that can bring you knowledge and wisdom just as much as a video or a book could. So get out there and have some experiences. There is no way to master magic, to understand the mysteries, to grow spiritually without seeking new experiences and new spaces and new people. And everyone and everything has something to teach you. Maybe it's subtle. Maybe it isn't based on their ideas, because let me tell you, lots of people have terrible ideas. There are a lot of idiots in the world, and so it's certainly not for the ideas that you need to meet every new person. Some people are just like racist and terrible, and their ideas are based on nothing, okay? So, but their experiences and their energy, that has intrinsic value, and no two people are identical. Not even twins have identical experiences. So there's always something new to experience and something new to learn. And until you get out there and live your life, you can't really understand that. So I want to sing this part from an S.J. Tucker song. Her song is called Cheshire Kitten. I think this refrain really helps capture what I'm saying. It goes, "If I leave my grin behind, remind me that we're all mad here, and it's okay. Sun up, sun down, the shadows hide me here in Wonderland, Wonderland, nobody knows the way. But if you find it in your dreams, then you can find it in your day job, somewhere south of hell. Take the path to the left or right, with just your gut to guide you. The story is not for anyone else to tell. Go down the rabbit hole and out the other side. You can't go home in the middle of the magic carpet ride. You gotta love the sun before his lovely daughter moon. You can't forsake the journey for the safety of your room until you learn your lesson well," right? So this is real wisdom right here. For those who have experiences, you'll know this, okay? You can't forsake the journey for the safety of your room until you learn your lesson well. This is what experience teaches us. There is nothing we can't get past. There's nothing our gut can't help us through, and there's no place too pleasant to bring into everyday life. If you can find it in your dreams, you can find it in your day job. When you learn to understand energies, and when you start working with magic, that energy and that happiness that comes from feeling empowered and confident and bold, that is what brings us magic. That is what brings us empowerment. And once you feel that, there's no going back. As they say, you can't unring a bell, okay, right? So once you know what magic feels like, everything becomes magical. Even the mundane things, even day-to-day life. Everything is an expression of your own unique power. There's no reason to hide. And even if you want to hide from the world, you can't. Because the world out there, that is where the experience is. And experience and love and learning to feel love and learning in general, these things are the purpose of life. No matter what the momentary suffering is, the experience of that suffering, of that moment, is the purpose of life. And you simply cannot have that. You can't learn it in the safety of your room. So get out there. Have some experiences. Go walk barefoot in the woods, or feel the sun on your face, or dance in a thunderstorm. Let flies land on you, and have a conversation with a bumblebee. Okay? Find rocks and waterfalls and trees and feel their energy and feel the purpose of the world. That is where you find the god and goddess. That is where you find the fairies and the elements. And that is where you find the source of all magic. And even if you live in a city, you can find a park and you can walk in the grass there. You can wander the streets and feel the energy of the places that you pass. Go inside a shop and have a conversation with random strangers. Ask them about their day, and their experiences will come rushing out of them, because especially in today's world, people are desperately lacking the chance to just connect with someone new because everyone is too scared to do it. We live in a time of fear and depression. Obviously, if someone has their headphones in, they don't want to talk to you, right? But if someone is just sitting there by themselves or with another person and they're just eating in a cafe, maybe just sit down at their table and be like, hey, can I sit with you? And just, you'll find that a lot of people are really open to that. And a lot of people, are just looking for that kind of connection. And you might make new friends, you might not, but either way, experience is the food of the soul, and you've got to feed your soul. So I hope that this has inspired you to get out there and have some new experiences. And I hope that this entire series has helped you learn some things about yourself and about the world around you. Finding your place in this world is hard. And finding your spirituality is just one small step towards becoming who you want to be and fitting in to the greater picture. If Wicca is right for you, then you'll know it from the experiences. If nature feels like a long-lost friend, and bees tell the funniest jokes, and everything you do is filled with magic and meaning, then you're probably a witch. So stop dreading the process and go out and find which experiences enhance your own spiritual journey. Have fun. Never stop exploring and learning. And that's it. And you'll have a very full, very meaningful spiritual existence. So thank you for watching our series on Wicca 101 Abridged. And from all of us here at the Coven of the Open Mind, may very, very blessed you always be. Hail and farewell.